and welcome to just a me talking video. Wow, I haven't done this in like a year. Anyway, I just felt like I was compelled to talk about this topic because I have sort of been figuring this out for myself. And so, here we are with passion, why it matters to chase what you love, and also that it's okay if you can't figure it out yet. As a homeschooler, also like looking at colleges and stuff, I found it as a big thing to like figure out what you're going to do really quickly, because you need to know where you're applying, how you're applying, what extra things you need to do, because you need to prove to the colleges that you can do the work, and you got to know what you want to do like really early on. And I know this is not as bad in some countries as it is in others. Like in America, we actually are allowed to go to college undecided, but my mom talked about once in France how they have to pick what they want to do extremely early on, and I'm just really glad that I'm not that, because if I had had to pick what I wanted to do in 8th grade, I would have been in a very different place than I am right now. But what I wanted to talk about is passion, I guess, and just coming from the perspective of somebody who's kind of in the middle of the road of, I know what I want to do, but it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do, and the fact that I've managed to figure it out is fantastic, because I hated having that feeling of not really knowing. And I just want to say, for all the people who are going through that right now, I completely relate to how you are feeling, because that was me for such a long period of time. And then I thought what I wanted to do, and then I saw something else and I was like, oh crap, that's really what I want to do, that seems really interesting. And then it started like morphing and adding things on, and I'm still growing and changing, and that's just going to be the reality of things. And the reality is that I probably will change my major once I get into college. And the reality is I probably won't work in my major for several years, if ever, because I know I want to go into theater and film, which are like two of the most oversaturated things ever. But like, the reality is that's just what I love, and so I know I want to chase that. And I know that there are some people who don't have the luxury of getting to pick whatever they want. I know that I am in a family where I can pick something and my parents will support me in it no matter what. And I find that to be really nice, because they believe the fact that your college major does not determine what you're going to do with your life. It's really about learning how to think and being innovative and creative thinking and all these really important skills. And what you major in college might be important to what you're going to do in your job, but it isn't necessarily. So like, if you want to major in philosophy and literature, I mean, you're going to learn really well about how to interpret the world around you and how to think and how to ask questions, and these are all things that can be applied in lots of different fields. And it's like, well, sure, you're not going to be able to necessarily go into the sciences off of that, but you can get a graduate degree in something and you'll get really good at writing papers, and like, there's so many skills that you can gain no matter what you are in. So these parents who are like, oh no, you can only major in this certain thing, or else I'm not going to pay for you to go to college, they're not quite getting that thought of, let your child spend 4 years or more studying what they want so that they're not miserable. And second of all, it's not like, obviously what you study matters, but you're still going to learn all of these really good skills regardless of what it is you actually study. And I think if you're going to be able to pick a medium from which you're going to get to learn those skills, then pick something you actually like. Okay, so that was a tangent, but essentially I wanted to talk about finding your passion and what it is. My mom has been fantastic in my entire high school and life process. One of the great things about being homeschooled, I've just learned a lot of things, and one of the things that she always had me do was just try lots of stuff, and she gave me as much room as I needed to be able to do that. And over time, I've been able to narrow down to things I actually love doing. For example, I did competitive robotics for like 10 some years, and I loved doing it while I was in it. It was stressful and it was really hard, but I loved the people I was working with, and I learned a lot of really good skills about teamwork and keeping records, and I learned how to build and I learned how to program. I took AP Computer Science. Didn't do very well, but I took AP Computer Science, and all the things that I learned in robotics were all just like these skills, like I was talking about with the college thing. Like, these are just, robotics is not my thing, and I'm not doing it anymore because all of my friends have graduated, and it's not really what I want to be pursuing in life, and so I wanted to have more time to pursue theater and things like that because that's what I really want to do. But the skills that I learned in robotics are ones that are going to stick with me forever because they're so important, and being able to learn things like gracious professionalism, which is we may be competing and we may be going against each other, but that doesn't mean that we have to be jerks. We can still be nice. Like, there is nothing in the world that says, oh, because I'm competing against you, that means that we're enemies for life. No, we can still, like, have a good relationship. That's the whole point. And so things like that, and the teamwork skills that I've learned, and the ability to improvise and be able to turn around on a hairpin and do something completely different because we have a time crunch in 2 weeks and we have to be able to build something completely new. These are all skills that I've learned in a program that I loved doing while I was in it, but it's not really what I wanted to do. And because I was given that room to experiment, it was really great because I got to learn all of these awesome things, and I got to do it with awesome people. And even if I don't want to do robotics with my life, now I know that, and I've still gotten something out of it, and so it wasn't a waste of time. Now, in actually finding my passion, it's a little weird. What I'm coming back around to now is stuff that's been in my life for ages. Like, I've been singing and doing theater since I was like 5 years old. That's a really long time. I'm 16 now. 11 years of my life I've been spending doing this. Theater has always been a hobby until I got into high school and I started touring colleges, and I saw that, oh, you can actually work behind the scenes too, because I'd always been an actress, and I was like, oh, well, hey, if I hadn't done robotics, then I wouldn't know that I actually kind of enjoy the building things and the teamwork and the working together to make something happen and then present it to people. And then, because I'd been doing theater for so long, my theater teacher from when I was in kindergarten was running this show called Young Frankenstein at a local theater company and was posting something about Stage Manager Day or something like that. And my mom sent her a message and was just like, hey, Olivia's been recently interested in some theater tech. If you have any need for her, she is totally available. And then she was just like, oh yeah, we totally need people to like run crew. And so I got to do run crew for this fantastic show, by the way. Young Frankenstein, so much fun. And so then I got to try it, and I loved that environment so much, and so I kept going with this one company, and now we're running Crybaby, and we're going into tech literally today, and I got to come back and be with the same director because I got to have that experience, and now I know that that's really what I love and what I want to do. I want to stage manage, which is, luckily I have a really good mentor in that field, and so it was all because of that robotics experience that I'd had, and also I just so happened to see all of these tech materials and all the shows that this one college had been working on, and I was like, oh, this actually looks really cool. Why haven't I thought about that before? And so there we go. Because of that wide range of experiences, it actually helped me find what my real passion was. Now, letter to the people who have trouble finding their passion and haven't found it yet. I relate so much. When I was in 8th grade, I had a completely different thought about where I was going to be because I didn't really know. I was like, well, I like to write because that was sort of what I was doing in robotics at the time, and my parents are all like, oh yeah, you could totally go to an Ivy League school if you wanted, and I was like, I was getting straight A's and I was a really, really, really good student, and my parents believed in me, so I was like, I'm gonna go to Stanford and be a journalist. Hey! And I had that for a really long time until I got into high school and realized what grades really were. I have been really indecisive for the last age of my life. Like I've been saying, my thing has been growing and changing. There was a stint where I wanted to be a music educator because that was sort of what I was doing and I really liked it, and I still kind of want to do that, but there's so many things that I could possibly do with my life. How am I supposed to choose one? Before I found the theater tech thing, I was jumping, and my friends will vouch for this, I was jumping from like week to week of different things that I wanted to do with my life, and I'm just like, that's the thing, no, that's the thing, no, that is the thing that I want to do with my life, no, that's it, no, not so much because of this reason, but that thing. See, I was just jumping back and forth, and I would just have different things of like, this is the thing and here's why. But when I really think about it, all of the things that I was going through, I was like, I want to be a journalist, I want to work in communications, I want to be an anchor on a TV show, I want to be this, I want to be an actress, like all over the place. But really, all of it's sort of come around full circle. I still want to kind of be involved in music. I went to visit this one college with the idea of being in the communications program, and now that I've added film into my mix, I'm kind of still looking at that same communications program, that exact same major that I went there to look at in the first place when I had a completely different idea of what I wanted to do with my life. If you can't figure it out, it's okay. You just need to expose yourself to as many different things as possible and you will find it. I believe in you. You have this. And if you can't figure it out, you are not alone. There are so many people, even though it may not seem like it, there are so many people who still have no clue what they're gonna do. I pretty much still have no clue what I'm gonna do. It varies depending on where I get to go to school. It depends on my grades. It depends on so many different factors. And you just need to believe in yourself, expose yourself to as many things as you can possibly fit into your life. It will be hell, but you will find it, whatever it is, and when you find it, you will know what it is. So yeah, this was kind of rambly. Oops. So, summarizing, being able to study what you want in college is important, not only because you'll get to study what you love for 4+ years of your life, but also because it doesn't necessarily matter what you major in, because you will still be able to learn the skills of creative thinking and all these really important skills. Second of all, expose yourself to as many things as you possibly can, and who knows, even if something is not something you necessarily want to do after you get through with it, then you'll know that that's not the thing you want to do. And sometimes, like with my robotics example, things I did in that program will help me in the future and also maybe tie in to something that I actually want to do. Third, if you can't find your passion yet, you're not alone. I understand where you're coming from, and really just, like I said before, expose yourself to as many things as possible and you'll know it when you find it. And if you don't find it until you get into college and you try lots of different classes, that's fine too. Undecided is a terrible name because it's got some sort of stigma around it. I love what Ithaca College calls it because they call it exploring. So it's fine if you don't know what you want to go into when you go into college. Like, just get somewhere where it fits, where you know you want to be, regardless of what you want to major in. Give you something with lots of options, but not something that's going to make you feel uncomfortable. And then just try lots of things out and you will find it, and when you find it, it clicks, okay? It's there. It's out there somewhere. Everybody has something that they're meant to do with their life, and you just might not know about it yet. So just find as many experiences as possible and you'll get there eventually. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm actually going to have more videos up now because I'm involved in another music project with some of my friends, and so I will give you guys more information about that once we actually have some content to post, but that'll be on this channel some as well. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and you can also hit the little bell to look at my notifications, so when I upload something new, which will be happening a little bit more often now because I'm not dead, you will know as soon as it posts because it will tell you. Bye!